Hello and welcome to my latest episode of the podcast, The Pocket Stylist. I'm Lisa Talbot, and today I'm really lucky because I have been joined by a guest, and the guest is a lady by the name of Julie, and she has got an amazing fashion brand called Inseparable. So Julie, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much. Yeah, very good. I mean, it's been snowing where I am, so it's really nice to witness the first snow of the year.
I
How
know,
about
and
you?
I'm good, thank you. But it's so cold today too. So we're both sat obviously in our
Yeah.
offices where it's nice and warm. But I'm so intrigued by your brand. I'd love you to tell the listeners a little bit about the brand and where it came from. How did it start? Tell us.
All right. So, Inseparable is a slow fashion brand entirely made with natural dyes. So basically, I use upcycled fruits and flowers, so food waste essentially, to dye all our clothing. And why? So where did it start? It's quite of a long story, but I'm going to try to keep it short. So back in 2012, I was studying in Malaysia. So I went there to do my degree. As a student, I was obviously fascinated by a new culture. I've never been to Southeast Asia before, and it was all new, new experience, meeting new people, etc. And what I was really fascinated about is the craftsmanship. People were making stuff in front of you in the streets, and as a French girl, we didn't really have that much of a savoir-faire,
Yeah, yeah.
in front of us. Um, so I was really fascinated by that, and I went on a little weekend in it's called an island in Sabah, and I saw people really crafting things from A to Z, but also using natural dyes and plants to actually dye the clothes. And I was really fascinated. So it's called batik in Malaysia, and they use different type of fabrics with different type of plants. But yeah, it was fascinating. So I started obviously to get to know some of the makers, understanding how the craftsmanship was all about, the history. And then I decided to open a platform for those Malaysian makers. I was like, it's fascinating that we have the Inspa back in France, for example, where I'm from. I've never seen that, in my own eyes. So I wanted to share that experience with other people. And really that's where it all started. So I created this small platform with Malaysian makers, and then it kind of grew from there. So when I came in the UK back in 2015, obviously I couldn't really keep the platform going because it was very much like Malaysia, well, in the country itself. um, so I was kind of rethinking what I want to do, and kind of reviewing my whole brand and obviously my life. And at the time, I was 25 years old. So I wanted to experience London and slow fashion and everything. And this is where I really wanted to have my own slow fashion brand. But obviously, it took some time for me to
Yeah.
grow this idea and came together. It's really back in, well, during lockdown that I really experienced with sewing, and I kind of experimented a little bit more with natural dyeing as well. I took a course back in Peru, where it's very famous, all those kind of natural dyes. And yeah, it came to spring probably in 2022 with my mom. So it all kind of started with my mom back then. So yeah.
That's such a lovely story, though, isn't it? Because do you know what I love the fact that lots of brands, there is a story behind how it started and how it grows and things like that. And I think the whole slow fashion is such an intriguing part of fashion because, yes, we are always going to have fast fashion, but I do think we desperately need an element of the slow fashion side. And you know, you don't hear of many brands like yourself using, you know, plants and fruits to dye, you know, materials. And it's really interesting, because if you think about it, even like I'm sitting there now thinking, you know, if I make a blueberry smoothie, for example, the
Mhm.
colouring, you know,
Yeah,
is that gorgeous purple lilac tone. And then you think, well, yeah, but why wouldn't you do exactly what you're doing? So, and the fact then you say that, you know, you brought your mum into it as well. It's like this family affair. So your brand Inseparable, tell us tell the listeners again that the type of products that you carry in your collection, and do you keep them to a kind of a size range minimum? How does it work for you?
yeah, absolutely. So obviously, because it's all naturally dyed, you've got to use natural fabric. So we
Yep.
source all our fabric from, family suppliers in the UK. And we try to keep it very minimum. So it's all made to order. So I work with a company. Well, sorry, I'm just going to rewind a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
So
yes, okay.
yeah, because of what we do is all naturally dyed. So we use natural fabric, such as silk, cotton, linen. So I'm really
Yep.
trying to experiment a little bit more as well with the type of fabric that we use, and that changes so much with the designs that you can have in the coloring, etc. And then the whole production is made by a team in Brighton. So we've got a local team that I'm really working closely with. We work together on the designs and putting everything together. So yeah, my business is very local, and that's something that I really wanted to do, because obviously, yeah, back then in Malaysia, I was so impressed by the local craftsmanship,
Mm-hmm.
but that's something that we have in each country.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at our history in the UK, for example, there's so much that so many talents that we can bring. So it's also bringing back, that local
Yeah.
craftsmanship and savoir-faire to back in the game almost. So yeah, so everything is made in the UK, and it's made to order because we really want to have a little bit more of a control, but also making sure that what we put out there is what people are needed,
Mm-hmm.
but people need,
Yeah, so when
rather
you
than,
talk, sorry to interrupt you, when you talk then about made to order, it
yeah,
can be made by the measurements of that specific woman,
yeah,
can't it? Which
exactly,
makes
exactly.
it makes it even more precious, because there are, you know, loads of ladies that I work with, you know, different sizes in different stores. It's a real bugbear, because they say, oh, you know, I don't know, I'm a 25-inch waist, for example, but my hips are a 38. Or, you know, so not all women are standard sizes. And I think you'll find the majority of women aren't standard sizes, but we're trying to somehow put ourselves in clothing that doesn't always create that perfect fit. So with yours, the fact it's so personalized and it's made to order, you get that absolute perfect fit.
Exactly. So when you go onto our website, you can obviously browse all the different products. So we've got clothing, accessories, etc. But when it comes to clothing, as you say, it's very personal. And when you buy something that is, slow fashion, obviously it's a little bit more, probably more expensive that you would
Mm-hmm.
find with fast fashion. But then it is really made to your measurements. So you can definitely add to our kind of notes your measurement. You can work with us if you wanted to have a specific dress with a color in mind that you have, or you can send us some Pinterest images. We can really work together, because we believe that fashion is, obviously you need to have fun with your fashion, right? We all love to dress up. It's a moment in your day, right? It brings your
Yeah.
confidence, but also we want to make it as sustainable as possible. But that's why we work really closely with our client to make sure that it is something that is going to last in their wardrobe. So yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And you can have an amazing, unique piece with your favorite color, and we can work together on that.
And I think that's where slow fashion becomes your investment pieces. You
Yeah,
know, if we're talking about investing in, I don't know, a great pair of jeans, or we're talking about investing in a great coat or a great pair of trousers, you know, yes, we might be looking to spend initially a little bit more money, but there is nothing better than having the perfect fit because you will keep it. They'll have more longevity, and
yeah,
therefore you'll look to wear it in different ways. You'll change its look or change the shoes or things like that. So I absolutely get when you're having something made to measure, that it's, you know, there's definitely a benefit. I've got a couple of clients that actually work with tailors, and again it's very similar because I mean obviously not similar to what you're doing in your brand, but when you have
yeah.
something made to measure, they feel amazing because the fit is just stunning. So Julie, do you have like a selection of garments that you would say, you know, skirts or trousers, and then a client comes to you and says, I would like a pair of those trousers, and these are my measurements, and these are the colors that I would like?
Yeah, that's pretty much how we can work with people, because I love to have that one-to-one approach as well. It makes my day rather than, you know, a very online type of business. So I love working with people on that. And yeah, we've got obviously a core collection. So we've got 4 to 5 pieces depending on the collection, like summer or winter. So we've got two main collections throughout the year. Well, we actually started last year, so probably we will add a little bit more pieces in 2024. But we have 4 pieces, and then people can actually tell us, like, well, with this trouser, I would like to have this measurement, this color, or we can work on, you know, reducing a little bit more of the length, or yeah, we can really work with clients on what they would like based on the core collection that we do have.
Yeah.
But actual dyeing is what, you know, makes my kind of elevate my kind of, yeah, makes my spark. So I love working with clients on different designs if they want to have more of a chivalry design, or a tie-dye, or have multiple colors in one dress, for example. It really depends on your taste. So we can make it yeah, very unique and very depending on people's taste, basically.
Yeah, and but then that comes right the way back, doesn't it, to style personality. It comes back to who we are as individuals, and something that I promote an awful lot. It's what we wear has to be about us.
Yeah.
It's about how do we feel. It's about how does it make us feel good. And yes, we can definitely, you know, we have the trends, we have the fashion styles, we have the colors, we have all of that. But what's more important is that we adapt that to suit us, because then it feels like us, isn't it, when we're wearing it? And I think that your brand name, you know, Inseparable, is just great because it means that things can be worn together, and they, you know, they complement each other, which is exactly where I think lots of women struggle. They definitely struggle, but to be able to understand that things all complement each other and they go together, but with this wonderful ethical, you know, slow fashion ethos behind it, is really quite exciting. I mean, the whole side of it, you know, about the dyeing and everything like that, it's really intriguing.
Yeah, I think the most amazing part is when I meet people face to face and I tell them that, you know, this piece is actually dyed with blueberries or onion skin or stuff that we basically have in our kitchen, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we to turn something into, yeah, a second life. And people are literally like laughing at me. They're just like, are you kidding? Like, that's not possible. So yeah, I think like we need to raise more awareness around that, because obviously the impact that the dyeing process has on the fashion industry also is horrendous. I think it's the second most polluter in the fashion industry, the dyeing process, and it causes not only damage in the environment but also our health. Um, there's not many researchers at the moment that prove that you know, we've got more regulation when it comes to skincare or what we
Yeah.
eat, etc. But there's not this type of regulation in the fashion industry. So really, those fast fashion companies use quite a lot of chemicals dye our clothing. So as you say, you really want to have fun with your fashion and be able to express yourself, but you want to do it in a safe way as well, and make sure that it's not impacting the environment, but also not impacting your health.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's something that I strongly believe in. But also, when I was starting to shop sustainably, I found that I couldn't really express myself because I love color. I love colorful clothes. I love wearing, you know, pink, orange, yellow during winter time because that really cheer me up during the dull season. And that's what I wanted to kind of do with Inseparable, and as well creating this community of women. Inseparable, as you say, it's that link between each other, you
Yeah.
know, being together in this new journey, because sustainability is still very new. Obviously, we hear a lot more about it now, but it can be difficult, you know, to change and shift all your lifestyle habits in one day, right? We've got those many challenges, but how realistic they are. So I really want to promote that as well in a safe and a slow way. Like, we don't have to make changes in 1 week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
all
I
about
think that's the most interesting thing, isn't it? It's about if people want to go down this route, they can do it in baby steps. I am
exactly.
thrilled that you came and chatted to me today. But before we say goodbye to you, tell everybody where they can find you so they can come and have a nosy, they can come and have a look. Where can they find you? For the listeners as well, the all the details will be in the show notes as well. But Julie, tell us, where's the best place for people to come and have a look at Inseparable?
Absolutely. So you can check out my website. It's www.shopinseparable.com. I'm also on Instagram. My handle is shopinseparable, and the same on TikTok if you want to see me dance a little bit. Uh, yeah, so that's where you can find me. You can also DM me or send me an email. I'm more than happy to connect with you and talk to you. I think it's amazing to connect through this talk about this slow fashion
Mm.
approach and journey. We're all on it together, so it's nice to share.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming and talking to
Thank
me
you.
today. I hope everyone has enjoyed listening to this podcast because I'm intrigued now about the dyeing from the fruits and everything like that and the vegetables. I just find that really intriguing. Please go and have a look at Julie's brand Inseparable. Thank you everybody for listening. And I will see you all and speak to you all next week. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye, Julie.
Bye.